Welcome to Electrified.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Electrified Rider. Well, a congratulations is in order. If you landed on this video, chances are you just recently purchased yourself an EUC, an electric unicycle. Congratulations. Now for the most challenging part of your new journey, and that is learning to ride the EUC. The good news is it's not going to take that long. It's just being repetitive with your practice, trying to get out as often as you can, and before you know it, you'll be riding around or floating around on your EUC, having a heck of a good time. Now, one of the greatest challenges when you first begin to ride is avoiding scratching up, denting up, messing up your brand new EUC. These can be quite the investment. And the last thing you want to do is scratch it up on a concrete or asphalt surface while you're just learning to ride the thing. So I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks that are going to help you to avoid that whole mishap entirely. And it's easier than you think. You know, I've seen plenty of videos online of people practicing and dropping their EUC time and time again. Truth be told, a lot of these EUCs are built like tanks. I can speak for this veteran Sherman S and let you know this is an absolute tank of an EUC. I'm not very worried about dropping it, but still, with the investment that we put into these things, we want to keep them looking nice and new, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do before you get out and start practicing is protect the EUC with just a little bit of added buffer around the edges of the EUC, as well as installing some pads here, also known as power pads, which are also going to help protect the EUC if it flops over onto the ground. Now, what I installed here is some 2-inch rubber along the edge of the EUC on all 4 sides, and I was able to install that with some 3M double-sided tape. It only took a few minutes. I did cut some slits here on the corners just so that it could rest easier around the bends. And this is held up beautifully. I mean, it's not perfectly flush, but it's held on and it's done the job. As have these Grizzly pads here, because I have laid this thing down during practice a few times, probably about a dozen times. And you can see on the pads, there's a little scuffing, but for the most part, these have done an excellent job keeping the EUC in good condition. You might also want to consider putting some sort of grip tape around your handles or any other area that could perhaps come in contact with the asphalt, the cement, including the pedals here. You see how I outlined the edges here with the grip tape. But here's one of the best tips I can offer you, and that is utilizing a strap while you're learning. So I picked up this little quick release strap here off of Amazon. If you're interested, I'll leave a link down below so you can pick one up for yourself. And these are used to just really secure down things in a trailer, on your vehicle, what have you. But what I did, and this is what I recommend others do, is I put this strap around the handle. Not all EUCs are going to have a handle, so you might have to find another way to attach a strap. But you can cinch that down like so. And then wearing a glove, I would just coil that around my glove. And what this allows is just an extension of the handle for you to hold on to. So if the EUC starts to fall, you can literally hold it up from hitting the ground. Also, when you're first learning to ride, just having this extra extension of that handle to hold on to helps with confidence, helps give you a little bit greater stability and control. The next thing you're going to want to do is utilize either a fence, a rail. I've used the side of a storage container, even the side of my van to lean up against, just to help me keep steady and keep balance while learning the EUC. So you can grab the rail, the fence, or lean on the wall or whatever you have to help stabilize you. Then you can get your feet up on the EUC and balance yourself with your arm. And just do a little bit of a rocking motion back and forth and get the feel for it. Adjust your feet around, try to get comfortable, and then begin to roll forward in little increments. And you can just hold on to your support rail, fence, whatever you got while you're going, and try to go 2 feet, 3 feet, and just keep going until you finally get it. And before you know it, you'll be able to go 10 feet, 20 feet. And then at some point, you're not going to need the fence at all, and you're just going to take off. And this is when things get interesting. This is when things get real fun. Now, I showed you how to mount using the wall, but dismount can also be somewhat challenging at first. So what I recommend doing is slowing down. You got your hand on your leash here, and then reach down, grab the EUC, and step off with one foot. But before you get to that level, you're probably once again going to stop by holding a rail or leaning against a wall. And as I mentioned before, it's all about repetition. Repetition is going to get you all the skill under your belt that you need, all the confidence you need to start riding one of these EUCs and having a blast doing so in the safest way possible. So take your time. Don't rush yourself. Everybody's learning curve takes a different amount of time. Some people, it might take a few days, some people a few weeks, some people a few months. That's okay. Just stick with it. Don't give up. Hey, stick with it, don't give up. And again, when you're first learning, you slow down, you can lean up against the fence, grab the handle or the top of your EUC, step down, and there you have it, guys. So that's going to wrap up today's EUC tutorial, helping you to begin to ride safely and effectively without thrashing up your investment, your EUC. So with that, if you got something out of today's video, I sure would appreciate it if you smash the like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. New uploads coming out on a weekly basis at minimum. I've got lots of different content to be sharing with you guys. And shoot me a comment. I love hearing from you. Until next time, this is Electrified Rider. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.